salutations.
And look, the gang's all here today. All three of us are here. It's the right perspective.
I had a technical difficulty.
Yeah. Did you enjoy your vacation, bro? Huh?
I did.
The rest of us were here.
Well, I can start another one right now if there's a problem. Believe that. Believe that.
Oh, no, he did. Did he just? Thank you for joining us, everybody. It's the right perspective, and we are. So Brittany decides when she wants to create the shenanigans. You know, she's the problem. Don't let her fool you, viewers.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. This is, again, This Is Us is the only show that we live discuss. Most of our content, if you're a regular viewer of The Right Perspective or regular listener, we tend to review old content from the past, movies and television shows that are considered classics. This Is Us is so clearly it's a classic in the making to us. That we're not waiting. We're not going to wait till it's over. We're doing it now. So we have decided right now to start discussing this show live every single week.
So good.
It's so good. So good. Let's introduce ourselves real quick, y'all, and then we can get into it.
I'm Aubrey Wright. I'm the oldest.
Janiyah Wright. I'm the middle.
I'm Brittany Wright, and I'm the youngest.
Well, let's kick it off. I think Aubrey should have to kick it off since, again, he was not present for the last episode.
Well, first of all, I can tell you that.
Just in terms of pulling your weight and all of this.
You know, I'm in good spirits right now. So I'm just going to breeze past your negativity. But I will set it off, but I gotta tell you before we went live, Janiyah said a sentence to me that has me very curious to hear what she got to say. But I'm gonna just tell you this: I loved it. I loved how they fleshed out this story.
Yeah,
and you know. I usually don't, unless I'm watching like a sci-fi movie or something. I usually, or a movie that's centered around that, or a show that's centered around that. I usually don't like seeing any type of supernatural feeling type stuff in a TV show. But I feel like they did it good. I feel like they even those parts, I feel like they left it like this was just the experience that they're having, you know, and just to see how This Is Us, you know that they're going to unfold it in some kind of interesting way. But even though you know, it still managed to subvert.
They still surprise you.
Yeah, they still surprise you.
They still surprise you.
And I'm just saying, so I fully loved this episode. And I know, like in the beginning, and I was just gonna say, you said that it was not what you were expecting in a bad way, in which I paused the conversation because I needed Brittany to get on and I needed us to be on because I want to hear
that's exactly what happened.
You are talking about.
Yeah, so what I meant by that, and bro, I agree with you. This show, I mean, come on, and we didn't say it's season 5, episode 7. This Is Us. This show continues to be amazing. So please know that. Yeah. What I didn't appreciate about tonight's episode was they
Let me prepare myself for whatever blasphemy is finna come out your mouth, honey. Let me center myself. Center myself. Let me line my chakras.
They've gotten us so used to getting information over an extended period. I just felt like it was rushed. I was like, wait, did you give us the whole outline of Laurel's story in this one episode?
Janiyah.
I wanted them to go more slowly. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, it's too much. It's too much.
They were sitting down and having a conversation. What do you want them to do? Be like, But guess what? I'll be right back tomorrow with what really happened to your mom.
Are you kidding me? This show has spread one dinner conversation over multiple episodes many times. It would not have been elite for them to do that.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but I don't remember
that you are saying that you're saying Laurel's story is done as if it's
no, I didn't say it was done. I said we got the whole like the outline so fast.
We get outline stuff like that all the time, and before you know it, we're up here looking at Aunt May's life.
Janaya,
you're right.
We are in season 5, episode 7,
like that.
And
they mentioned back. Where's my sage? Because I see that you got some in you that I need to work out.
They mentioned, I believe they mentioned his mom in the first episode. So actually, this story has been hashing out for 5 seasons.
Okay. All right, listen, we got to look in the chat because I know I'm not the only person that felt like that was a lot.
You're the only
that they threw at us
because it wasn't even like. I'm gonna tell you why.
It was a lot.
I'm gonna tell you why it was a lot.
Listen, Rachel agrees with you. Rachel says, "I just can't with this episode. My head is still spinning."
Thank you.
So
no. But we don't know what Rachel means. Is it
Rachel?
She's spinning because it's so
my
good.
Friend and Rachel, please feel free to co-sign honestly from your soul that I'm correct here because you know what, y'all, it was a lot. All I know is.
Listen,
but I love it.
And I'm gonna even tell you. Can I even say they even put it in the episode because even Randall was like he cut off High. He was like, look, High, I understand all of this, but you just need to tell me the information I want to know. So
like,
they even put that in the episode to allow
Randall
to move.
Was impatient.
And then moving forward, but when you saw,
I was trying to tell him the ups, the downs, the highs, and the lows.
But look, let me tell you, I feel like if he didn't tell the story the way he did, it wouldn't have made sense. Because like if he skipped all the way,
he had to tell it the way he did.
He had to, and it was interesting because part of you is feeling like Randall when he's like, "Yo, get to the point." But then when you see the story unfold, you're like, okay. I understand. You had to tell the part about when you met her.
Yes.
And you had to tell why she was there so that you can go back to how you saw her again. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And all of it. Oh.
Well, listen.
Well, I think
there's 2 people right now that are agreeing with Janaya. Mara and Rachel are both like,
thank you, Mara.
Janaya, you might be
Rachel.
right.
It was just
Rachel is so like, I kind of feel the same way as Janaya.
Man, if I could,
thank you, Rachel.
If I was allowed to pull up YouTube, I would put on hateration in this dancery.
I really feel like if you just stand up and start to sing, that's quite enough for all of us.
Well, you know what? That aside, the story of Laurel, I loved. Yes. I love her story. Yes. I love the complexity of it. Again, a lot of layers got peeled back real fast here, but I love the I gotta just say something about the story felt so realistic. It felt exactly like a very true story for many people. Many people know the experience of having a parent or two or a family situation that is so oppressive and so judgmental that you just can't be who you are and you have to flee. So many people know the experience of like being so deeply in guilt that you cannot find the strength and the peace to confront and to move on. So
and every day makes it worse.
Every day makes, because the time passing makes it worse. And so many people know the story of being incarcerated because of an addiction, because of an illness, because of something that when you've needed a different kind of intervention, many times America will throw incarceration at you. So there were so many things about this story I loved and appreciated.
It just to see how they just assumed, and of course she was struggling with addiction, but they just assumed she was a strung out junkie when that wasn't the case. It was, guess what? She couldn't go to the hospital. She didn't have no health insurance. They're trying to figure it out in a random apartment somewhere. And like, if you've ever experienced seeing somebody you care about in that much pain, like, you know, whatever you could do to stop it, it's just like,
I'll do it.
And then that small thing set off everything. That one, just that one decision set off these. And I also love that about this show, is how it always goes back to how this whole show happened off of that one decision. That one decision. Because if he didn't give her the drugs, I mean, she probably would have survived. It'd have been a horrible, beyond horrible night, but she probably would have lived, you know, which would have changed the whole situation. So all of this, and it's funny because that's how life happens. Yep. Like you could think back to just something like, wow, if I would have changed my mind on this one thing, my whole life would be different.
I will tell you, Mara did say that I misunderstood her, and she said, I thought the pace was adequate for high emotion.
All right. Okay, Mara, your turn.
We're gonna start.
Mara said she was agreeing with Aubrey and I.
Okay,
so
Janaya, here we go.
You and Rachel are alone in a boat.
Check this out.
You and Rachel are alone in the middle of that lake.
In a boat that's appropriately paced.
We'll start a hashtag team correct. And hashtag team incorrect. And we all know who's who. But anyway, but yes, so and look, I'm gonna tell you, man, like the other thing I love about This Is Us is when I know what they're trying to do and I can't stop it. Anyway, I love that. Because when Red was like, I need to go, you know, he went out. And then when he started taking his clothes off, I was like, I know you ain't about to put him in this lake. I know you ain't.
We knew he was going to the lake.
And even though they were doing
a little Sterling booty too.
Yes, I was.
Hey, Sterling K. Brown.
Wanted him to go.
Yeah, I'm quite sure you were both pretty focused during that scene. But
listen, that was a nice booty.
Oh, Janaya's frozen.
She's frozen. Her eyes are closed.
That's right. That's it.
It's the best pose. Internet went out.
Well,
she'll be back.
Since we're on her bridge, are you back?
You can kind of hear her.
Yeah, because the thing is, we're on her bridge. So if it goes out.
If Janaya goes out, y'all, we may be right back.
Janaya goes out, because we're about to wrap up anyway. So if Janaya goes out, we'll just say, oh no, I'm the host. I'm good. All right. All right, so we're good.
We're still in there like shrimp.
No, we're good. So anyway, I know Janaya will log back in, but yeah, so when they
there she is.
Yeah, there she is. So when wrong people get bumped off, it was internet bump you off for your wrongness.
Okay. I'm so happy it stayed on. I was like, what happened?
Listen,
what happened?
Denise Dalton was sad. She said, Janaya, come back.
Janaya, I knew you were going to be back. I really did.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm just saying, I know they were trying to evoke emotion but it doesn't matter because it's like it's so frustrating. It's almost like, you know how a bully be like, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. That's what they do to you emotionally.
Bro, I'm so upset that you just said that though, because my friend always said, I actually have a friend that
Rachel said that you were demonstrating proper pacing when you went off.
Thank you, Rachel. And I came back in a reasonable amount of time. Did you see? So I have a friend that he will not watch This Is Us, and it is for one reason. He says the show is emotional porn. He says that's all it is. That
it's emotional torture at times, but it's so good.
They can.
It hurts so good.
Emotion out of you, and I don't think that. I think it's quality storytelling.
That's right.
And I think because it's quality storytelling, we are emotional and experiencing it. I don't think it's written just to draw emotion. Yeah, no. But bro, when you just kind of said they're doing it on purpose.
Oh, they're doing it on purpose. And it's masterful. And I have no problem with it because it's amazing. It's amazing writing. It's amazing writing. It's just like anything else.
And the
casting. It's like anything else.
And the casting.
Like when people were talking about that Michael Jordan documentary that just came out, people were just talking about how you would know what he was doing and it just didn't matter because he's just so good. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about This Is Us. It's like, yeah, we're about to take you emotionally all different directions. And there's absolutely nothing you can do.
The nuance of Laurel's story. Well, first of all, what This Is Us does, the emotion it brings out, it helps you to reflect. And that's something that we as a society, we do not do. We just try to move on. If something is painful, get over it quick. We need to get over it quick. Sometimes you need to sit. And I believe that This Is Us encourages sitting. And it helps you to see what happens when you do not sit in moments when you need to sit. I appreciated seeing Laurel's story because, and Randall getting a chance to hear it the way he did, because he heard it through the eyes of someone who, when you're in love, even though this person has flaws, it's like, what can they do wrong? It's one of those things. So he got a chance to see it through a lens of someone who cared for her and cared for her at the hardest parts in her life when she was ill. So being able to see her grow up, have this, she's the to-do family, that's pressure in and of itself.
Yep.
Then her first best friend passes away. You have that, in a tragic way, in the military. So, you have you're supposed to come home, right? You didn't come home. So that's something, she has layers of hurt that's happening. To know she's talking to her father who was hard on her, sitting her down, saying he's about to ask you to marry you and you better say yes. Oh, I'm sorry, what are we doing that at? To know that you didn't. And then to know that you ran away because you don't want to have to experience that. Because how is that to know that I don't have autonomy over myself? I can't just say, no, I'm not marrying you, Marshall. I have to physically run away from my home and then leave the love of my life and go start a new life. And I guess the bus or something like that broke down in Pittsburgh and she just lived in Pittsburgh for whatever reason. And was there and met William and things like that. What did he say about the bus? What happened with the bus?
She never made it to Pittsburgh. I think to Chicago. I think she could only afford a ticket to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Was that what it was?
I thought it was the bus broke down, the ticket. Something.
No. That was a separate. That was
somebody in the chat can remember.
That was a separate. He was saying that she didn't have, after she got out of jail, she didn't have the money to get all the way back.
No, she never made it to Chicago. Something related to the bus. But she ended up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that part you're talking about, I think that was after. But yes, something happened.
Yeah.
What he was talking about was she was trying, I guess, thinking about going back, but she only had money for a ticket. I guess
she had a one-way ticket to New Orleans.
And and that's...
That character of hers that she had, Aunt May, let me tell you something. If you are let me look into the camera. if you are fortunate enough to have an Aunt May in your life, never ever take that for granted. Someone who helps you to move forward and process, but doesn't move you so fast that you can't understand.
I got to get my notepad because I have a quote from Aunt May. I got to get my notepad.
Listen, Aunt May, that character. Listen, she froze up. It's all the same thing.
I came right back.
It's all the same thing.
Team
it's all the same thing.
I came right back. I got to get my notes.
Thing. The fact that Mara said the bus broke down in Pittsburgh. Okay, thank you.
Broke
Mara.
down. Thank you.
So that Aunt May character, I just was so amazing in her life that to me, if anyone is fortunate enough to have that type of person in their life, please do not take that for granted. But I will tell you, seeing Randall go into the lake, I wasn't so distracted from his bum that I didn't realize what was happening. Sometimes we have to have these moments. Sometimes we have to have those moments of that are cathartic. We know Randall couldn't really see his mom. We know that she wasn't really there. But you have to have those moments sometimes when you're talking to the person that you wish was there. You have to have those conversations and trust and believe in your mind and in your heart that they're hearing you. And even if that's talking to your younger self, talking to someone in the past and forgiving yourself. So him being able to let go of everything right there in that moment, the same way his mother did in that lake, man, I love stuff like that. I love those types of moments because I encourage people to have those moments. I want people to have those moments in their life where you are truly experience a moment of freedom from whatever has been holding you down.
And I was trying to remember if they had ever used that convention before of having someone kind of talk to kind of have an out loud kind of real time, fantasy conversation. Did they ever have somebody talking to William or talking to Jack? I just can't remember.
I don't think I don't remember to that extent.
I think it was their first time using that particular convention.
Because I think I would have noticed, but I'm not sure.
Oh, but they did. Kate and her dad.
Okay.
Kate got a chance to go to the ice cream shop with Jack as an adult, I think with her younger self. Something. Okay. The ice cream scene she had. It was that was seasons ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was seasons ago.
But the way they did it was great, and I felt like good. I felt like it was. And I also just want to talk about, man, that boy Randall is an acting somebody, man.
That's Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling K. Brown.
That is an acting dude. Because let me say,
whatever he touches is
gold. There's so much of his.
God.
Yeah, when he'll be acting without even talking. He'll just be sitting there and he'll just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do 3 tears right now. And he's just so good. Like, how do you do that?
Good.
And I wonder, I would like to talk. If I ever met him, I would like to ask him, is it hard to come back from that place? Or is it just cool for you? Can you just do that? But I'm gonna just tell you that his emotions it just allows you to get lost in what's going on because and even when Randall is irritating me, he's irritating me in the right way. Like he's irritating me in the way that he would irritate me if I was related to him and I was in this conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it's just because, all right, for example, when he shut him down, I'm like, all right, I feel you, Randall. I know you're processing a lot right now. But come on, man.
I was just trying to tell the story in a thoughtful way. Oh, man.
Listen, and I want to let you know, Rachel said that Kevin talked to Jack on the bench, and Maurice said that William and Randall had a talk. So these are the conversations that people have passed.
Okay.
And they've done this type of thing before.
Okay, I
So
love that.
thanks, you guys.
Oh,
We appreciate
But
you all
I'll
chiming
tell you,
in and helping us
thank
out.
you.
And-
Oh, I
and-
hope
and
somebody
the-
on the internet does a montage. Can someone in the world please do that? A montage of all of these scenes of like them talking to the past loved one.
Janiyah,
I would just
excuse
love
me,
to see it.
You are the most dramatic person I've ever met. So, to a montage. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you one scene that was cool, and we're not getting off topic, but one scene that was cool in that vein was when they had all the Kates together in one scene.
That's right. That's another
was
one
cool
where they
scene.
kind of.
But that was like obvious, like, you know.
Yep.
But,
so good.
Yeah, but that was good.
But
yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I had to look up the actress that played Aunt May because you all recognize her, right? She's from The Practice. Y'all remember that show? Her name is Lisa Gay Hamilton. I never saw The Practice. Oh, well, listen, spend some time. That show is worth a binge watch. Very good legal show from back in the day. Her name is Lisa Gay Hamilton. And let me just go ahead and say right now, I would like to join her fan club. Are you taking applications? Because she was so good. She's always good in any stuff she's in.
Everything she does.
But tonight, in this episode, Lisa Gay Hamilton, you gave me so much life because
listen,
if you think about it, she didn't have a lot of lines to convey the complexity of her story, but convey it, she did. Okay, because she talked about, so we were able to just, from the way the show was so beautifully captured visually, we were able to see that she was living her life alone. We could see that. And we were watching her be so different from her brother, right? We're seeing this brother's this buttoned up, he's at the bank on Sunday, and she's out in the garden. Why is she out in the middle of in the lake? Okay. And so we're seeing she's so different from her brother. And we're like, what could it be that set her on this very different journey where she's having this such a different...
I want you to know my face was just like that when I was thinking about it. Just like yours.
What? That's I'm taking you back to that moment. Okay. Your hands were probably like this.
They were.
What happened to me? Because her experience was so different from her brother. And in fact, the family torn apart. You know, little Laurel's not even supposed to go see Aunt May. What happened, you wonder? And then she has like one or two lines to convey the story. And she basically tells the story of falling in love with a married man, thinking she could change him. She ends up losing the baby. She gets pregnant. She loses the baby and the man. And she let that heartbreak define her.
You know what?
She lived her life in that heartbreak.
You know what I love about
that? Was using that heartbreak to liberate her niece. Did you see that? Using her own heartbreak to liberate her niece. And I said, well, you played that part, Lisa Gay Hamilton.
You never know when your story is going to help somebody else to get free.
We always
wonder why we're going through things, and it's like, man.
And I don't think they didn't clarify, right? Like how she lost. And because I think there's probably more story there.
I made a guess. I thought she was about to say, and I'm your mother. That's what I thought she was about to say. Because you know they used to do that.
Why was you getting so deep like that right then?
Because this is us. Nothing's off the table.
This is us. Listen,
nothing's off the table.
Listen, they wouldn't have done
Maurice said she's Cicely Tyson great. She maximizes every role on time on screen. And Rachel said, I feel like that's why she was mothered. She mothered her niece. So that's Rachel said that about Aunt May's character. She lost her own. So,
well, I mean, she definitely. I think people are going to be talking about her performance.
Oh,
and I'm just curious because like when she said she lost them both, and they didn't clarify, and I love when they do that too. I love when they do that, and I'm even okay if they never revisit it again. But like I felt like, but it just lets you know because look, we're looking at. This is us is showing us sections of these people's lives. So like there's stuff that happens off screen that we don't know about. And that's how it should be. But like, I wonder if she lost them, like they died, or if he like was some type of powerful, it seemed like he was a powerful guy. So maybe he was just able to just take the baby and just left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's funny. I wasn't even thinking about when she said that, like how many ways that could be interpreted.
I mean, so many ways.
I thought for sure she was about to say, "And you are my child." I was about to say, "What?" I was ready for.
We ain't got that older. We ain't got that kind of time.
Because, bro, stay with me here, okay?
All right, hold on. Give me 1 second.
It is a plot.
No, he's
ready. I'm ready.
It's plausible, bro.
All right, go ahead, break it down for me.
Okay.
No, he's
and please listen carefully. And let me stop using this finger because I broke this fingernail earlier.
It's fine. It looks like it used to be a really
Listen, everybody knows what's going on right now.
Bro, listen to this very plausible scenario. Because we all know that back in the day, okay, and not just back in the day, I'm sure it happens now. Young girl gets pregnant. They send her away to a relative. She comes back, no baby, but the baby somehow remains in the family under some other kind of family structure. Okay. You hear about it all the time.
All Tyler Perry movies.
I don't know about any real life
Every last Tyler Perry movie.
I do.
Actually, all the time. Which makes me believe that it happens in real life.
Yeah, I know a real life situation where it happens. So it happens. Yeah, I know. All right, fine. I'll give it to you. Fine.
And just think about how drawn. Think about the way they were giving us little clues. Like she could feel Laurel every single time Laurel was like walking near her.
Well, can I ask you this question, Janai? So basically what you're saying is you're complaining that they shoved too much in, but you wanted some more in. That makes sense.
Oh, I'm so sorry if somehow from what I've said, you've drawn the wrong conclusion. Because that's absolute. We've had a failure to communicate clearly. And I want to apologize. I want to take ownership for my part of that. And I want to own that. And I want to apologize. And I want to support you in actually hearing the message I'm sending.
Can I tell everybody in Facebook land, this is Janaya managing us. She does this all the time.
I just want to support you. And I want to make sure that we're communicating well. If I'm not sending the message well, you won't be able to receive it. So I want to own my part in the breakdown.
Are you doing kiss?
I want to make sure that we do not go past the fact that I know often I as someone who for a long time was like, oh my God, soulmates. I want to be very clear that you can be in deep love multiple times in your life. Laurel was in deep love with William, and Laurel was in deep love with High. And she was fortunate enough to experience deep, beautiful love twice. So I noticed that, and I was just like, man, that speaks so much volume.
Thank you for naming that, sis. Thank you for naming that, sis.
Experience that. And then I know there's sometimes people we're so focused on, oh, you need to get it at this time. You need to get it at that time. You need to, if you miss out on it, you're going to miss out. If you're too old. She was in the last 2 years of her life with cancer. Her and High refound each other after he married, lost his wife, had children, and experienced that depth of love again. High said that every day with her was perfect.
Oh, that was such a beautiful line.
I don't know if,
what's that actor's name?
You don't have to want to be in love.
He did
you don't
great,
have
man.
to want to be in love.
Let me get his name.
That if you do, like if love is something that you want, love is something that you want to attain, like do not settle for anything other than this type of situation. Like that is just what they had. And I know it's television, but there are real people out here that are experiencing that. And so I think everybody deserves that type of love, care, concern in their life at least once. If you
the actor that played High, his name is Vien Hong. And let me tell you something, Vien Hong.
Good job, Vien Hong.
Look.
Good job, Vien Hong.
Look, Vien Hong. Let me ask you this part, Vien Hong.
Can I ask you this? How do you bring up the subject of the deed to the house? Because
I think it's not hard.
But would you feel weird? Like after he told you this?
I would not. I would hand that paperwork right over to him via
You know what,
email.
Janaya, you would. You know what?
Of course I would, because keep it clear.
You would be like, yes, that was a great story.
This bonding has been amazing. Here, let's get clarity about ownership of this land. All of it.
So was
I have
that
no problem
last
getting
name
clarity.
the same name that was on the deed?
Yeah, I would have left town without getting it buttoned up. I wouldn't have. And I thought about that. I thought you just handing these keys over. What kind of legal transaction is that? We don't.
Does that say something about us? That's the first thing.
Yeah. Where's the notary?
Like those keys are nice, but come on, man. This isn't ceremonial.
As soon as it is ceremonial. As soon as he gave him them keys and said those words, that was a legal binding contract.
But nobody saw it but his wife.
Yeah. The law does work that way.
All right, look, we hit our 30 minutes. Okay?
Listen, all the law degrees on this Zoom call equals 0. But I'm pretty sure that you need some written contract.
How do you know
notarized.
How do you know I don't have a law degree? We've been in COVID.
I've known you for years.
I've
known you a very long time.
I currently am a medical doctor, a lawyer, as well as a pastor. I've had some time on my hands.
You've been very busy in COVID.
You're also very sick. You're also very sick.
Is there anything else? Oh,
I would know. Maurice said, in the Mons. Listen, in the Mons. Maurice said, what about the rest of the Rich Dubois family that Randall didn't get to meet while down there? I feel like the president of the bank daddy is still alive. Listen, I said the same thing, Maurice. I said the same thing. I said he's alive.
Mind blown.
We're old.
Maurice, listen. If I had a little button that like did a like explosion thing, I would do it right then. Like,
listen.
And look, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. My mind went as far as to say, what if Jackson? What was the brother's name? I'm like, what if Jackson didn't really die?
See, you're always taking stuff too far. But you know what though? Check this out. Check this out.
If he grew up in Vietnam, I'm gonna be so mad at you.
Listen.
If he like lost his memory or something crazy,
memory loss.
So mad at you.
Shame. Being AWOL. An alternative lifestyle his father would not have supported.
All right, well, listen, you heard it here.
Reasons.
You heard it here first. If any of those things happen, I'm not watching This Is Us.
All I know, listen, and you will watch it because they will introduce it in a way that will make you think, I can see that. I can see that.
You're right.
See, that's why you can't take anything off the table.
You're right.
Don't you remember in the first season of this show when we your mind kept getting shot to Channel 9 because you were like, where did that come from?
I definitely.
So what I'm saying is, let us learn from that
to get more Channel 9.
Nothing's off the table, folks.
Yeah, my mind was on Channel 9.
Nothing's off the table. But
all right, listen.
We got to talk about Kevin.
Maurice said, ain't nobody trying to pay them property taxes.
Listen,
who's that? Who is that? Maurice who?
Maurice Smith.
Listen,
Maurice.
Maurice.
I need to add him. He's funny. Whoever that is.
He is funny. And you know, Rachel raises some valid points.
Rachel doesn't like our granddad idea. She said Lowell's dad would still be alive. He'd be quite old at this point.
But somebody from the
Rachel, I don't like any of Janai's ideas. But that's just because, I mean, it doesn't really have anything to do with the content of the ideas. I just don't like it.
But there's so many potential relatives out there. That's my point. There's so many potential relatives out there.
I'm going to let you all know.
Uncle Jackson is Aunt Jackson. Exactly. I'm not looking at this chat no more.
Okay. Listen, this thing is getting off the rails.
Table.
This is getting off the rails. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring us back together because I know what you all are trying to do. You're trying to make this call longer than it's going to be, and this call is done. We did a great job.
Bro, there's something else I wanted to say.
I don't like being accused.
Okay, fine.
I don't like being accused.
I have one.
Oh, you know what you're doing, Brittany.
Oh, I don't like being accused.
I have to say something.
You've been knowing since 85.
We all need to take with us that Aunt May asked us about.
Oh, so is this heavy like a mic drop? Like
it's just a reminder. It's a reminder of something that we've touched on earlier in this chat. Brittany touched on it earlier. Aunt May asked whenever Laurel is there and she's seeing the marks on her arms from her years of addiction. She said to her, "Aren't you tired?" About the guilt and about the weight. She said, "Aren't you tired? You need to let the pain go." Okay. And so that to me is like, those of you who vision board, okay, if that's a part of the way that you manage your life, I think this is worth a post-it, folks.
She said, if you don't let that guilt go, it will strangle you.
And you know what? Let the blank, let's make it a blank. Fill it in with whatever you need to let go. Might be a person. Yep, I said it. Oh yeah. Might be some guilt. Might be some pain. Aunt May said, "Let it go, y'all."
You know what, Janai? You got let it go. I'm about to go find me a lake. I'm about to go find me a lake, Janai.
Scream it out, bro.
I'm about to scream it out.
Scream it. You can do it in the shower, actually. I think it'll probably work. But let your neighbors know you're in scream therapy. But also, bro, we didn't talk about Kevin. We have to do just 2 tablespoons of
Listen, are you and Rachel like? I think you and Rachel are like on some type of weird wavelength because that's literally what she said. She said
Rachel and I have had.
No, you're right.
Rachel and I have had a slight psychic connection since the 80s, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to hear this. Okay.
I have friends with psychic connections too, and I will have some of them on the chat next time. Okay? This is it.
I've already talked to them. They're going to agree with me.
Listen, you guys got to watch. Does everybody see the beauty of how we all try to make it all about us, all at the same time? Like we're all, me, you, and Brittany, we're all jockeying for position. It's awesome.
I don't understand what that sentence just meant.
Well, you shouldn't because I'm on top.
Saying?
I am the first. I was on purpose. Right?
Or some could say an unfortunate accident.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna mute this mic and I'm gonna do exactly what Aunt May would want me to do about what Aubrey just.
Oh my God!
All right, I'm back now. Moving on. I've let it go. Moving on. Okay.
Man.
We see Kevin's in a tizzy because you remember Kevin went to Vancouver. He went to Vancouver. There was weeks until the babies were due. He thought he'd be back in time. Madison's now in labor. He's driving in a tizzy. And I was like, he's probably going to get in a car accident. This is a tizzy.
I would like to make this really, I'm so happy everyone who is in the planet has witnessed this now, because this is why we don't let Janiyah drive.
Well, I try not to drive, especially if I'm in a tizzy, like he was.
Listen,
he was clearly.
I think Janiyah would be a great driver in like a demolition derby situation. So she would be. All right, listen. So that scene was very, very intense.
Very intense. And Randall wanted to unburden.
And you knew it wasn't going to work. And that was the other thing. Like, this is us. Like, you knew it wasn't going to work.
Nope.
But they still did it in a great way.
Yeah.
Even when you're like, no, this is not, like, this is not going to be Peachy King. And what's crazy is, even though we know the ending positions of so many of the characters, like, we still don't know how they got there. So it's like every little moment is so intriguing.
Yes.
And so we know Kevin's alive because we've seen the future, so we know it's all good. We know the kids are there. But what happened?
We don't know if the baby's mother is there. We haven't seen her.
Exactly.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Did she make it? And you know what This Is Us will do? They'll have you sitting in the hospital looking like this. And then they'll flash forward and she's coming out with a glass of lemonade. 10 years later. It's like,
That's
okay,
Brittany, that's exactly what they would
don't do us like that.
That's exactly
don't
what
have
they
us
will
going
do,
crazy.
which
Don't
is
do us
why that's Exhibit L for nothing's off the table.
Nothing
That's all I'm
is
saying.
off
Uncle
the
Jackson,
table.
Uncle Jackson, are you in Vietnam? Where you at, Uncle Jackson? That's all I'm saying.
I think he was abducted by aliens.
Possible. Listen.
Listen.
In the mond.
In the mond.
So yes,
now we have covered every topic on my notepad. Now we can move on.
Janaya, you know.
Now I can close it until next week.
It is.
And I do want to bring up that watching Randall call Kevin to kind of like have this cathartic woo-saw, let it all go moment. You think about when Kev was trying to call Randall in the last episode.
I did think about that because
Randall got off
Randall
the phone.
didn't. Yeah, and that's what. Yeah, and he was trying to connect then. And the other crazy thing, I'm glad you said that, was if he talked to Randall, because I love Randall, but Randall would not have left. Randall puts. He wouldn't put
absolutely not.
And so when he asked him, what would Randall do? Randall probably would have told him to stay
your butt there,
just
as he had done when they were young. Stay there.
Turn your tail around.
Come on.
And I wonder if they'll have that conversation to circle back.
Yeah. Oh man, who do we have any other guesses we want to put out there on the record before we wrap?
Honestly, I've given up trying to guess because
it's just so good.
It's just never right.
You can't guess because it's so good. Guess.
But yes, this is us. You are, and I think they're going to stick the landing. And I hope, I shouldn't even say that, but I really do. And
me too.
I feel the way.
I think he said, what is it, 6 or 7 episodes?
I think it's
the creator. 6 or 7 seasons.
6 seasons, I think. I think that's what they said.
But
they have the end in mind, and they're, so I won't have that
next season.
So I won't have.
Don't talk about it, sis.
No, I want to feel the pain of the ending. That's what makes a good show, because like.
I'm gonna have to. I gotta do an on May on this.
That's a new thing she's going to be doing for the rest of our life.
I am.
For the rest of our life.
I am.
For the rest of our life.
Everyone should get used to it.
There's going to be a lot of that.
As long as we're on Zoom, it's going to be happening.
Okay. But yeah, but this is us. They're the only show that I watched the preview of the next one, because they just give you just enough. And like they don't ruin the whole. They actually make you want to see it.
It's truly a teaser.
Okay.
In the truest sense.
Maurice, we're sorry. He said, "Wait, what? It's ending, Maurice."
Don't tell him. No, let's not talk about it.
Yeah, it's ending, but I want it to end, and I want it to end. I want it to end right. Like
it's going to have the best season, Maurice.
You think about like Breaking Bad, the shows that The Wire, the good shows have a good ending. And I don't want to see something happen like Game of Thrones, which I'm still not ready to talk about it yet. But one day I'll be ready to talk about it. But I just don't want that feeling.
It was so unexpected with Game of Thrones.
I mean, it was so
unexpected and because it was so unexpected for that show, it makes you worried for every other awesome show.
It does.
And that's
why and it's funny because what you're saying is really, that's what it is. I didn't even realize it, but that's what it is. But I was so
confidence shaken.
Just
it was really
showrunners
what
said Daenerys forgot about the Iron Fleet. I can't talk about it. I can't. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. But the point is,
that's what happens when you let people go off topic. That's what happens when you let people go off
long for that.
They don't have no more books to go off.
How long did we wait?
Wasn't
it like a year and a half or something? We waited for the last season.
Listen, let's not get off topic.
Okay.
The point is is that I would prefer a show to end.
That wraps it in the right way.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they're working towards, and I
so
also
far
don't like,
so good.
And I also don't like a show that just meanders forever.
So you need to end. Sometimes it's over.
Episodes.
Unless you're SVU, because I hope that show never gets canceled.
Listen, Law and Order.
Somebody give Mariska some vitamins.
182.
I want to see.
Give Mariska Hargitay some vitamins.
I love
her. So much violence on the planet that we can just keep going with this show.
I love her.
Listen, we're not.
She is a blessing to this earth.
Listen, we're not gonna have no negative SVU talk because I hope she is 90 years old.
Me too.
Arresting,
helping us find these pedophiles and these sex offenders.
Listen,
I heard Stabler's coming back.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what, you all, you're gonna have to. Everyone's gonna have to tune into the Right Perspective podcast. Where can you find out about it? RightPerspectivePodcast.com.
One more thing.
And also our podcast. It's on every place where you listen to podcasts.
I'm cutting you off. Brittany, we really look alike. We're next to each other in my screen, and it's kind of unsettling. Like
Bro, me too. I look like y'all too.
You look like us, but me and Brittany really.
But me too.
Nah. Actually, you
say no.
Actually, you
jerk.
You do look. We do look like churches. But I just wanted to disagree with you. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, you do it to me all the time, both of y'all.
But it's fine when we do it to you. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. No one cares what Aubrey thinks anyway, or about his feelings. No one cares.
My life. My life is a big world.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Check out our podcast, rightperspectivepodcast.com. Bye.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere.